Well, hello there. I thought that for today I would like to show you how I am going to seal this canvas painting. It is painted with watercolors and it's a regular canvas. So if you've ever touched canvas before, you know that watercolor is not going to stick to it, because for our canvas painting to work, the paint needs to properly dry and adhere to the canvas. And watercolor doesn't work that way. Watercolor is mostly absorbed by the paper itself. And of course, canvas doesn't do that. So after I painted this, because I was trying to do an experiment and I really liked how it turned out, I was trying to figure out ways of sealing this or protecting it so that it wouldn't fade or it wouldn't get damaged if there was ever, let's say, a spill of water, or even if you rubbed it too strongly so that the paint wouldn't come off. And I found out that using wax could be a good solution. So I have this wax by Dorland, so it's called Dorland's Wax Medium. Now, if you don't know, I am based in Europe and it was quite hard to get this. It was available on Amazon, but it took over a month to get here because they ship it from the US. In fact, I'm not even sure I bought it via Amazon. I probably bought it via another store. I can't remember now. I will add the details in text during editing, because I honestly don't remember how I bought it, because it took so long to get here. It's a very small jar, as you can see. Okay, so I did a few tests the other day in my notebook, but the tests were done on gouache painting. So let me just find the pages. Okay, here it is. I did these paintings back in July 2024, and they are done in gouache. And of course I didn't want the paint rubbing against each other, because this is quite black, and I didn't want the black to transfer on this side, so I was always using just a piece of paper to keep them separated. So the other day, actually yesterday, I tried rubbing just a bit of the wax on this side first, and then I buffed it with a piece of fabric. And it's not tacky, but it's, as you can see, it doesn't slide. It just sort of, not tacky, but it has a bit of a resistance to it. I don't know how to describe it. And so what I did for the next page, I didn't apply as much as I did on this one, and I also didn't buff it. And you will also notice that when you start buffing it, there is a sort of resistance, that's what I mean, but it's not tacky itself, so it's not sticky, it just has, it doesn't slide. So for this one, which is the black page, I didn't apply too much of it. You can see that it's a bit shiny, but it's not as shiny as this one, because I didn't buff this page. I buffed this one, and this one has come out quite shiny. But it didn't transfer at all. There was no transfer of the gouache, nothing. Like even on I used a glove. I didn't want to use my hands because I don't like the feeling of wax on my hands. I used a glove, and there is a bit of black residue from this, but I didn't press too hard. I hope you can see it there. There. So it's just a bit of black on the glove, but it didn't affect the painting at all. And then what I did was, because I didn't want the black to rub onto the red of the person here, I just used another finger to rub it on. And like I said, you don't use too much of it, just a little bit. So now I'm gonna go ahead and try it on my canvas painting. So let's see how it goes. Okay, let's give this a go. I am only using a glove in one of my hands. I don't want to use both hands because I need this hand free to pick up stuff and things. So I'll make sure that there are no cat hairs, because that's the story of my life. Everything's covered in cat hair. I think I'm going to start with the lighter areas, and then I'll slowly move on, and I'm going to show you how much I'm going to apply. I'm not even digging my finger on the jar. I'm just sort of like caressing it, because it does come out fairly quickly. I have like a little bit there. Let me see if I can focus on this side. There. I'm just using that amount. And let's give it a go. Okay. Can't really see the difference right now. Okay, now I use a bit more as before. And remember, you don't want to use too much, because I don't want to buff it, and I don't want to have areas where it's going to be too thick and areas that are going to be too thin. So I'm trying to be as even as possible. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my finger. I'm just sort of like caressing the canvas. And I think it's also a good thing that my hands are warm at the moment. That keeps the wax a bit more fluid, I would think. And if you can hear any crunching in the background, that's one of my cats eating, because I'm filming this in my eating room, which has an open kitchen. And I've been meaning to film this for a while now. I was waiting for the wax to arrive. I think it arrived back in December. But then I didn't have the strength to film it. What with my mental health being on the rocks, I could barely manage to do anything at all. But now I'm happy to report that I'm feeling better, slowly. At least I'm having a bit more energy throughout my day to do more things. Now, would I recommend you paint with watercolors on canvas? Not really. It was fun when I did it, and it's a shame that I didn't film it. It was just a thing that I decided to do one day, and I didn't think it was going to turn out right. But then it came out very nice. But no, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, if you want to not paint on paper, there is a canvas specifically made for watercolors, and that is much better. I've painted on that once, and it was actually quite a joy to do. The reaction of the paint on the canvas, like not on this one, like the one that I mentioned, the watercolor one, was different. Like it reacts differently than it does on paper, because the canvas is basically like a cloth, like a fabric on a cardboard base. It does have like a specific priming, but it felt more like painting on fabric, you know, like when you apply the paint and then it sort of kind of spreads differently when it's on fabric than when it is on paper. And it came out gorgeous, actually. I really liked that experience. And if you're curious about it, you could you can search for it on YouTube. I'm sure there are videos of people painting on watercolor canvas, and they turn out so beautiful. I'm glad that the paint is not coming off. That was my main concern, because I even thought of maybe sealing it with the soft pastel sealant, which comes in a spray. I was thinking of using that, but because when you apply it, it comes out wet. So it's basically like using hairspray. It comes out wet, and I didn't want anything wet to touch this, because I knew that even if it got wet just a little bit, it would ruin the painting. So that's why I didn't think of sealing it with hairspray or the soft pastel sealant. And I actually got recommended by a fellow artist on Instagram. We follow each other, and she recommended that I should try maybe this wax, or I think she was using another one. I can't remember now, because like I said, it's been a while. Like I said, I don't even remember when I painted it. But yeah, and she was kind enough to recommend this. And I kept looking on YouTube for videos about paintings done on classic canvas, and I couldn't really find anything. But there was one video that I found of someone using this product to seal their painting, and it looked really nice. So that convinced me to actually bite the bullet and get this one. Because like I mentioned, I had to buy it from the US, and with the shipping and everything for this little jar, it was quite expensive. But because I'm not going to use it that often, like I'm not going to paint that often on this, I think I am actually going to use it to seal maybe my sketchbook paintings, and I'm not even going to use that much, so it's going to last me a while. And if you decide to get this wax medium, just make sure that you store it in a dark place and away from the heat, especially if you live in a hot country like I do, because that might ruin it. Now I'm just doing like the finishing passes. Can't really see it when I lift it up towards the light to see if there's any glare, because I want to see if there are any parts that I've missed. It looks like it seems to be well covered. Yeah, I think I'm missing a bit here, the little brown bit here. And there. Yeah, no, it's better. I can see it now. It's not feeling tacky like this, like my notebook here. Now I'm just doing like a general pass. And it's funny, like when you first apply it, it glides really well, but then it comes a point where it just sort of there's like some resistance, and I think that's the wax drying. It dries out really quickly. See, there's a bit of resistance here, and there's resistance here now as well, the place where I had just placed some more. And I think, let me just check it out with this, looking for dry spots. This one already has it. I'm getting a bit of wax on my finger, but it seems to be all covered evenly. But yeah, all seems to be okay. I'm just going to leave this as is. I think in about 24 hours it should stop being kind of tacky like it is now. So I'm going to leave it be. I'm going to put it back on the wall where it was hanging, and I will let you know tomorrow how it's turned out. Okay, so it's been over a month since I showed you the painting. I said I was going to check it 24 hours after I applied wax, but life got in the way. And now I think it's been like a month since, which is also a good thing, because that way I can check how the wax is holding up. And it's holding up quite well, I gotta say. The painting is not tacky at all anymore. I didn't have it sitting under the sun or anything like that. I had it sitting inside a drawer, so there was no light, there was no direct heat or anything that could affect it. And yeah, as you can see, it's not tacky. It does have a bit of a texture, like you can feel it, that there has been a product applied, but only if you have like very sensitive fingers like I do. It's not leaving anything. There's no residue. The paint is not coming off, which is great, which is exactly what I wanted to achieve with this wax sealant. Yeah, overall I am quite happy with how it turned out. I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you were able to learn something new. So thank you so much for sticking with me. So now I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like, and if you liked it, please subscribe. Thank you again, and I hope you have a great weekend. See you soon!